You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning, everybody. It's 5 o'clock on Friday.
Oh, did you say Friday?
I did.
Such good words. We made it to Friday.
We'll be out tonight. The three of us will be out tonight.
That's right.
at the Music on Main in Lakewood Ranch.
That's right. This is going to be my first one.
Is that your first
Looking
one?
forward to meeting people, yes.
Oh, you'll love it. Yeah, you'll love it. It's wonderful. Lots of good folks out there, and the weather tonight is just going to be fantastic.
Good.
Spectacular. Morning commute, I do have one box check, the rain box, and you know, I kind of batted that one back and forth whether or not I should, because I tell you what, there's not going to be much rain around. There absolutely is not, but a spot of drizzle is possible, and the thing is, we haven't had much rainfall lately, so just even a spot of drizzle on a very, very dry pavement can bring up some of those surface oils and make for a very slippery roadway. So just put that in the back of your head as you're traveling this morning. If you're in an area that's having a light rain shower or a patch of drizzle, most likely the traction has been reduced significantly on your road. We'll look at temperatures that'll be generally in the mid-70s as you head out the door this morning, and then as you come home this evening, low to mid-70s once again. Today's the day. The frontal boundary is moving through, and we are going to see some cooler temperatures arrive. Speaking of arrivals and departures, all Sarasota airport hubs running on time again this morning. There's our line of showers. I mean, few and far between, but that's it. The front sinking southward shifts our winds, draws in cooler weather. We'll have those forecast details in a minute.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. First alert traffic showing pretty clear right now. One little blip there on State Road 70 in the eastbound lane at Lockwood Ridge, otherwise clear. Checking the northern half of Sarasota County. There's an issue already this morning, an accident we're going to click on near I-75 and Bee Ridge Road and find out more about that. In the meantime, we'll talk about the issue there on Bee Ridge at, there it is. Okay, northbound, an accident just before the exit. So if you're taking 75 northbound from Clark, you might want to take 41 or Honore. We'll keep you posted on that. Closer look there at University and Lakewood Ranch, showing clear right now through the diverging diamond. Thank you for that. And then checking down to the south, all clear at 502. Now here's a live picture you might not have expected. Sunshine Skyway Bridge is hosting a big running race this weekend over the bridge.
It's going to be so amazing to check out. The Skyway 10K is going to be taking place this weekend. It is a great benefit for the Armed Forces Family Foundation as well. Over 7,000 people so far are signed on for this run. It's sold out very quickly, but it's going to be amazing to see this weekend. And great weather for it, too. A little cooler, which is good running weather.
Talk about a picturesque run.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Over the bridge.
Yes, a tough run, too. Well, construction projects are definitely not new to the Suncoast, and these days it seems like new ones are popping up all over Sarasota, both housing and retail.
And in some cases, projects are delayed due to a lack of workers. Marla Spence is live outside a project in the Rosemary District. Marla?
Yeah, good morning, guys. You know, construction sites like this one behind me need the extra help, but companies say that's hard to come by nowadays. We spoke to a temp agency called Labor Finders, and they have branches stationed all over the country. We spoke to the location and the manager at the Sarasota branch, and he tells us in 2016 there was a much higher rate of workers hired through his company than between 2017 up until this year. And we're told one reason for the decline is the fact that there is more work than workers in our area. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to be telling you more factors that's contributing to the decline in workers right here on the Suncoast. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla, for the latest on this story. Breaking news and the forecast. Find our app under WWSB or My Suncoast.
Well, FDOT listened to concerns about those two new roundabouts coming to the area. Those roundabouts are being built on US 41 at 10th Street and 14th Street in Sarasota. The $12.5 million project is currently underway, and although many residents have mixed feelings, FDOT feels confident that it is the best option.
This will still allow traffic to flow from all directions, and generally roundabouts have been proven to improve safety at intersections, reduce crashes, and reduce the severity of crashes as well.
We have elderly people, we have tourists, they're not familiar with the area. Already they want to be over to the right when they're in the left. It's very difficult to get around.
Well, the US 41 roundabout project at 10th and 14th Street in Sarasota is expected to be finished by the spring of 2020.
One of the biggest issues on the Suncoast is on the agenda at the White House. Yesterday, President Trump made a surprise stop at the Summit for Opioid Abuse, suggesting dealers face the death penalty. The White House is focusing on education and prevention, law enforcement and treatment. Experts say more than 2 million Americans are dependent on prescription or street drugs. Also in 2016, 42,000 Americans died from opioid overdoses. Meantime, in Tallahassee, legislation to combat the issue heads to the Florida Senate now after passing the House. If passed in the Senate, it would impose new restrictions on prescriptions. Most initial prescriptions would have a limit of 3 days, but doctors could prescribe up to 7 days for acute pain. The Suncoast has some of the highest overdose numbers per capita in the country.
New this week, the homeless found sleeping in Sarasota County parks must choose to go to a shelter or face being arrested. This after Sarasota County approved new regulations that prohibit the homeless from camping in the parks. Now, the arrest is one way they hope to encourage people to find a safe place to go instead. The County Homeless Services have put a countywide plan that includes adding 50 beds to the Salvation Army in Sarasota, plus a new standardized database for nonprofit groups that are trying to help the homeless.
Well, an end of an era for the longest tenured patrol horse at the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. This is Justice, retiring after 19 years of service. Great name for a law enforcement horse, Justice. But Justice has a ligament disease, so he is now going to retire. He has worked several large events, including the Republican National Convention in Tampa and the Super Bowl. He also took part in a number of search and rescue missions and school demonstrations as well.
Well, here on the Suncoast, it is Pirate Fest this weekend with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The 12th annual event will take place this Saturday at Lecom Park in Bradenton. Now, it is all about fan love at Pirate Fest. Free player autographs, games, so much more, all outside the ballpark from 10 until 12:30 on Saturday. The first pitch gets thrown out against the Phillies at 1:05 that afternoon.
All right, should be a great weekend.
That's going to be a good weekend for it. Nice and cool. I'm loving this.
All right, still ahead, first alert traffic and a major storm. Heavy winds and high rain might slam the Northeast today.
And coming up a little later in the hour, ready to trade in your car? Well, we're going to tell you what you need to know to get the most out of that trade-in.
But first, a peek at your Friday. Here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for us, actually. We have a little bit of cloud cover out there right now, visible on Tower Cam. But otherwise, we are headed to an absolutely spectacular day. No flight delays at any of the airport hubs. And as you look on radar, the amount of showers that we have are few and far between. That is the beginning of a cooler weekend. We'll talk about it in a sec.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking for something to do this weekend? This one might be fun. The Hometown Fest, my Hometown Fest, that's Saturday at Benderson Circle, benefiting the Saratoga Club. It kicks off at noon. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s. It'll be sunny. You have low humidity, absolutely perfect weather. Goes till about 4, mid-70s, sunny and dry at 4. Absolutely fantastic. Features lots of food from different vendors as well as live music and all in that beautiful setting of Benderson Park. So can't beat that. Temperatures will be just perfect this weekend, even this evening for Music on Main. I think it's going to be exquisite weather. Can't wait. 71 degrees in Bradenton Parish, the same. Lakewood Ranch at 72, Sarasota 74, 73 in Venice, Inglewood, Northport at 71, 71 Mayaca. Still warm. These temperatures, probably the daytime highs on Sunday. That's how much cooler it's going to be. It's going to actually get down to about where we should be for this time of year, to tell you the truth. 74, the actual air temperature at the airport with a dew point value of 72. That is a number that will be sliced. The dew point values. Low humidity air is on its way in, and it is going to feel so nice. Believe me, this weekend during the afternoon. Now, a few of you may want to wear some light jackets, I suppose, during the morning hours as the temperatures will be dropping down. By 9 a.m. this morning, 71 degrees, and I'm throwing in that 10% chance of a shower. Honestly, the chances of rain are so low across the area, but a patchy spot of drizzle certainly is possible, and there'll be a few clouds around. As we head into the noontime hour, clouds will start to break up. You'll see some more peaks at the sun, and as we head into the afternoon, even more so with the daytime high temperature above average still at 79 degrees. But then in the afternoon, with the wind shifting, you'll start to notice some of those temperatures beginning to fall, especially as we head into the evening, 70 degrees at around 7 p.m. A few patches of scattered showers showing up on our Futurecast computer model, yes. Winds turning out of the north, and then everything clears out. By around lunchtime, we start to see some significant clearing across the region. Winds generally breezy later on this afternoon and into the evening. And we watch the temperatures begin to fall during the evening hours and into the overnight, dropping down into the 50s when you wake up on Saturday morning. And it'll be lower than that, probably upper 40s when you wake up on Sunday morning. So the reason for it, of course, is a big storm system in the northeast. That big storm system and its frontal boundary extending out into Gulf waters will be producing some really rough weather in the northeast. There could be some significant airport delays there a little bit later on, though none being reported right now. Major snowstorms in upstate New York, back into Pennsylvania and Ohio. These will start to decrease as we head into tomorrow, but for today, it's a sloppy mess in the northeast. High pressure builds in back behind a front sinking southward, and we get this northerly wind flow that promises us some significant changes to our weather. A spot of morning drizzle, afternoon clearing, and then we get significantly cooler as skies clear. Forecast looks like this. North wind coming in at about 10 to 15. Breezier tonight, coming in at about 10 to 20. Watch for that, boaters. Don't be caught by surprise if you plan on some overnight fishing tonight. And the forecast looks like this. We'll have a daytime high today of about 79, above average. 10% chance of those early showers, probably till about 10 o'clock, then it's over. And 74 tomorrow under full sun, lower humidity, a breezy day. 46 Saturday night into Sunday. Oscar night, don't forget it, 72 degrees. Stephanie will be tweeting her heart out on that night, so you want to check in on that. And then temperatures as we head into the next several days of the new week all look fantastic. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. And yes, I will be tweeting my heart out in beautiful weather and hopefully really smooth traffic. Let's take a look outside to your traffic this morning, and it is running pretty nice out there today. No fog, just a couple little, spots here and there that are starting to get a little congested. But right now, if you're heading out and about to run some errands this hour of the morning, you are not going to run into too much traffic. If you're heading into Sarasota, again, not too much out there again today. Starting to see a little bit of a spot right there on Bee Ridge, as well as another one on Clark right after you get off of 75. Heading a little farther south, again, not too much to see out there. It's pretty congestion free and just a light amount of traffic that is out there this morning. Other than that, there's still not too much that we're working on today in terms of traffic. It's running pretty smooth the farther south that you get. And it is 5:15, and that is your First Alert traffic.
As John just mentioned, new this morning, a storm heading toward the northeast might be the strongest since January's bomb cyclone. Remember that one? This morning, 16 states across the East Coast are right in the line of fire of a developing northeaster. As ABC's Diane Macedo tells us, 70 million Americans from the Carolinas to Maine are under an alert for high winds, heavy snow, and flooding rain.
This morning, hundreds of National Guard troops have been called up in Massachusetts ahead of a monster storm.
We expect to lose homes during this storm.
People along the coast are preparing for a nor'easter coinciding with 3 high tide cycles. It's being called a once-in-a-generation event.
I'm getting out of here. I mean, I was stranded here in 78 for 3 days, and it was kind of fun, but not now. It's not fun anymore.
Winds are expected to top 70 miles per hour, and the torrential rains have prompted officials to sound the alarm.
Take this storm seriously. Just because there's no snow doesn't mean that the travel conditions won't be really challenging.
Evacuations are already underway south of Boston. Water levels are expected to be the same or even exceed levels from the January storm that caused devastating flooding in that same area, even flooding a Boston subway station.
Be prepared. Yeah, we weren't last time, so trying a little harder this time.
Meanwhile, on the West Coast, the rain started falling overnight in Southern California and will only intensify. A mandatory evacuation order is in place for up to 35,000 people in Montecito, less than 2 months after storm-driven mudslides destroyed homes and killed 21 people.
There is a risk for dangerous flash flooding, mud, and debris flows. This is a challenging storm, and because of its direction and trajectory, it is impossible for the Weather Service to predict exactly where it is going to hit and exactly where the most intensely hit portion of our area will be.
And it's not just the rain bringing problems. California's Sierra Nevada is under a blizzard warning with several feet of snow expected. Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
Well, the newest U.S. weather satellite is now orbiting in space. The satellite was attached to a rocket that lifted off from Florida's Cape Canaveral yesterday. The satellite is the second in a series of next-generation weather satellites. And once it's set into position, that satellite will provide images of different storms all over the planet. It's also going to help NOAA with predicting weather forecasts and some severe weather outlooks. I feel like I know one guy in this building that could be excited about that new satellite.
John loves that kind of stuff. He's a science buff.
That is right. Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Equifax says that there may be more users, maybe 2 million more, than previously thought affected by the data breach last year.
And next half hour, another company is adjusting its policies for gun sales. Here's a peek outside our window on this Friday morning. A chance of some drizzle and cooler temperatures later on. John's complete forecast coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, March 3rd. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone.
Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new animal adventure. There is a place in Florida you can go year-round and you will more likely than not see an alligator, a wild alligator in their native environment. Join us this week on ABC 7.
Epicenter of the entertainment world this weekend.
That is right. You are looking live at Dolby Theater in Hollywood. That is the home of the 90th Annual Academy Awards. Those are going to be taking place Sunday night. The awards show itself starts off at 8 o'clock, and of course you can watch it right here on ABC 7. So are you thinking of shopping for a new car this year? Well, about 40% of people who are going to be looking to trade in their current set of wheels. Now, the toughest part is making sure that you get the most for your old car. Now, Edmunds recommends that you start by getting more than one offer. Shop that around, an online appraisal, get some trade-in quotes as well from a couple different dealerships, and then time it before you renew your registration. That way there's no need to do any more repairs, but make sure you have all of your service records and your receipts to help you get the most out of that trade-in.
Get this story. Just before leaving Toronto, a passenger on board an Air Canada flight with 266 passengers on board was burned when his cell phone caught fire. An airline spokesperson said the man was injured but able to walk off the plane without assistance. The make and model of that phone is still unknown.
Well, I love that sound every time. The much anticipated 2018 Oscars will be handed out this Sunday night in Hollywood. ABC's Rick Demigala has a look at how some of the nominees stack up this year.
I can either save him or let him die.
Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water earned the most Oscar nominations this year with 13, including Best Picture, Director, and Actress. Dunkirk is the highest-grossing Best Picture nominee, earning $188 million at the domestic box office. The lowest-grossing nominee, Call Me By Your Name, has made just $15.8 million. In the Best Director category, Get Out's Jordan Peele is just the 5th Black Best Director nominee in the Oscars' 90-year history.
Lady Bird, is that your given name?
Yeah.
Why is it in quotes?
I gave it to myself. It's given to me by me.
While Lady Bird's Greta Gerwig is just the 5th woman nominated for Best Director.
This study, he's one of about a dozen party guests out on your
patio. I'm not protecting any of them.
patio.
I'm protecting the paper.
Meryl Streep's nod for The Post is her 21st. She's the most nominated performer ever.
No one has ever been richer than you are at this moment. What would it take for you to feel secure?
More. At 88, All the Money in the World co-star Christopher Plummer is the oldest acting nominee ever.
As if they're daring you to desire them.
He's not nominated, but Michael Stuhlbarg appears in 3 Best Picture nominees: Call Me By Your Name, The Shape of Water, and The Post.
When they turn, I lose heart.
Mudbound cinematographer Rachel Morrison made history this year, becoming the first female director of photography to receive a nomination in Oscars' 90-year history.
They know you're here.
At the other extreme, Roger Deakins earned his 14th cinematography Oscar nomination this year for Blade Runner 2049. He's never won.
Your story isn't over yet.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Of course, you can catch the Academy Awards right here on ABC 7. I'm going to be live tweeting it, so join in. Let's talk a little bit about who's winning, what your thoughts are on the best movie. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, you let me see one called The Florida Project.
Yeah, that was another one. Willem Dafoe is one that I feel like should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Is that up for anything at all?
Just a few here and there, but not nearly as many as it should have been. No. That was another really good one. Yeah. There's a couple movies every year that just seem to go like right under the radar. Mm-hmm. You're like, wait, it's so good. Yeah. But Willem Dafoe was a phenomenal part of that, and shot in Orlando.
Yeah. He's a great actor, and I also liked 3 Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri.
Yes, that one has the, according to Vegas odds that I looked up yesterday, not that I gamble, but you know, I just like to keep track of these things. 3 Billboards is #1 to win in terms of the best odds, and then The Shape of Water is #2 to win in terms of the best odds.
And what's your favorite one?
Of the whole movie, I'm going to say of the whole year, it's going to be Dunkirk. I love that. I love Christopher Nolan.
Funny. I tried to watch that, and I couldn't get past the first 20 minutes. I fell asleep.
That pains my Oscar-loving soul
I'm
right
sorry
there.
about that. I'm
It's
just
so
being honest
good.
with you.
I know, I know.
Yes.
See, that's what's great about those things. You know, they're all subjective.
True.
All right, Sunday night, right here on ABC 7. Well, the credit reporting firm Equifax says it's found a lot more users, over 2 million more, who were affected by that massive breach last year.
ABC's Diane Macedo and Ryan Smith have details on that and more in consumer news in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, more victims in the massive Equifax data breach.
The company says an additional 2.4 million people were compromised last year. The total is now about 148 million.
Equifax says the new victims' names and driver's license information were affected.
Jaguar has unveiled its first all-electric SUV. The 2019 I-Pace takes direct aim on the Tesla's Model X.
The all-wheel drive I-Pace will be able to travel 240 miles on a single charge with a price tag of just over $87,000. And if you're trying to convince someone to cut back on selfies, you can cite a new study that finds selfies make your nose look bigger.
Oh, there you go. Researchers say the short distance from the camera combined with the wide-angle lens create a funhouse mirror effect, distorting the size of one's snout.
Do broadcast cameras do the same? Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Not all fish oil supplements provide the same omega-3 power. Introducing Mega Red Advanced Triple Absorption. It supports your heart, joints, brain, and eyes, and is absorbed by your body 3 times better. So 1 Mega Red has more omega-3 power than 3 standard fish oil pills. Mega Red Advanced Triple Absorption.
This is food made to sit down for, slow down for, put the phone away and use a knife and fork for. And with Panera Catering, it's food worth sharing. Panera, food as it should be.
Indoor and outdoor allergies can stand in the way of enjoying the moment. Allegra is the fastest non-drowsy allergy relief. In just 1 hour, it starts tackling tough allergy symptoms for 24 hours of relief. Get back to the moment with Allegra.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you!
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Heroes of the Dorm Atlantic Coast region, where students are competing in Heroes of the Storm for their shot at over $500,000 in prizes.
Coming up this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, a deadly explosion in Kabul this morning, killing at least one and injuring several others.
There's a decline in workers for jobs in construction and labor. We're telling you what's the cause.
And a new use for Uber. They're working with health insurance companies to drive you to the doctor, and you may not have to pay for it. Good Morning Suncoast begins right now.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
All right, thanks for waking up and joining us. Hey, guess what? We have all made it to Friday together. We did it. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Stephanie Webb. Thank you.
You okay?
I don't think so.
No, on this shift, it's a little challenging, but we've arrived at Friday. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you. Yeah, coffee helps.
Yes, caffeine.
Lots and lots of coffee.
Of caffeine.
Yeah. I'm glad. Every time a study comes out and says coffee's good for you, I'm feeling like, right? I know. Got a line of showers just to our north. It's very weak line showers, and it's falling apart as it sinks southward, so I don't expect much in the way of rainfall across our area, but I've thrown in about a 10% chance of maybe a sprinkle or a light patch of drizzle that'll move on past during these morning hours. By 10 o'clock, that chance is gone. It's all part of the beginnings of a change in our weather pattern that spells some very nice weather for the weekend. There's that broken line of showers. And really, right here at the extreme southern tip of that line, where you only see a few areas of green, I have set the radar sensitivity so high that basically a lot of that's not even reaching the ground. So it's not going to be a big weather morning, no doubt about it. A little bit of cloud cover around. We'll be beating back those clouds during the first half of the day. Second half of the day, plenty of sunshine. Daytime highs again today will be warmer than average, cooler than yesterday, but still in the upper 70s. Tonight, we start to cool down, and we'll talk about that in a second.
The date. Talk to you soon. Checking the roads. Look at that, already a buildup from Palmetto toward downtown Bradenton on the Green Bridge, so therefore take the DeSoto Bridge if you could. State Road 70, a little blip there in the eastbound lane. Ongoing issue on 75 northbound. There's been an issue already this morning. We'll click on that and find out an accident. Wow, not a lot of traffic this time of day, but somehow two cars got tangled up at the Bee Ridge Road exit northbound. Be aware of that. And checking farther south, we'll find out that it's all clear at this time of the day. Big race this weekend, Sunday. There is a 10K over the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, of all places. There's going to be 7,000 runners taking part, and the northbound lanes will be closed from 4 until 10 a.m.
That is right. They're actually hoping it to make an annual event. It goes to benefit the Armed Forces Family Foundation. It is the first run of its kind, sort of. They actually did this way back in 1987 one time, so they're hoping to make this one an annual event.
Yeah, certainly a picturesque thing to do, to run over it. They get up at 4 a.m. to do that, though. Imagine that.
Yes, they do. That is, yeah.
It's like our job.
Right, right. The race starts at 6. Well, speaking of roads that are going to be a little bit busy, construction projects are definitely not new to the Suncoast. And these days, it seems like new ones are popping up all over Sarasota.
And in some cases, the projects can't get finished on time because there aren't enough workers applying for jobs. ABC's Marla Spence has details from a project in the Rosemary District. Marla?
Hey, Ray and Stephanie, you know, since 2016, there's been a decline in workers for jobs in construction and also labor right here on the Suncoast, according to Daniel Freed, who is the manager of a temp agency called Labor Finders. The decline is due to more work on the Suncoast than workers living in the area. Freed tells us people who would usually apply for work through temp agencies are having a hard time finding affordable housing in Sarasota, leaving them with no choice but to relocate for work or find other sources of income. We're also told there are more applicants that prefer to work for a company where they would have a flexibility in scheduling as well. There are other factors contributing to that decline, which are the fact that there are applicants who are not qualified for the job because of the lack of education and also because of a criminal background. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. For more information on the job picture in the area, also breaking news and the forecast, check out our app under WWSB or My Suncoast. New this morning in Afghanistan, a major explosion in the eastern part of Kabul, killing 4 people and wounding 6 others. Police say the blast happened near a military training center and government customs office. The Interior Minister says the explosion came from a car that belonged to a foreign company. We'll continue to update you on this attack as more information becomes available.
Well, new this morning, the Department of Education has awarded a $1 million emergency relief grant to Broward County Public Schools following that deadly shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos says the grant will aid in the healing and the recovery process. Now, that money is part of the Education Agency's special funds for schools and universities across the country that have experienced trauma. And new details on the alleged shooter at Stoneman Douglas High School. A grand jury is expected to consider formal charges next week. The suspect, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, is now in jail still, charged with 17 counts of first-degree murder. A 15-year-old survivor of the shooting is seeking a share of any inheritance that Cruz may get from his deceased mother. Now, Anthony Borges' attorney says he plans to file a lawsuit to stand as a creditor in the Cruz inheritance case. Now, that money could be up to $800,000. Now, Borges was shot 5 times and faces enormous medical bills.
Speaking of mass shootings, new developments in the trial of the wife of the Orlando Pulse nightclub killer. Jury selection is expected to take a while since most potential jurors are very familiar with the case in Orlando. The attack was the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history until last October. After that Las Vegas shooting, Noor Salman is charged with aiding and abetting her husband, Omar Mateen. She is pleading not guilty.
New this morning also, President Trump is firming up his stance on the NRA and challenging lawmakers to take on the powerful organization. ABC's Tara Palmieri has the details on the school safety proposals out of Washington.
This week, President Trump sounded more like a Democrat than a Republican on gun control. He challenged GOP lawmakers to take on the powerful NRA.
Some of you people are petrified of the NRA. You can't be petrified. They want to do what's right.
The NRA has publicly opposed the president's proposal to raise the purchasing age for rifles from 18 to 21. Despite their differences, President Trump met with leaders of the gun lobby on Thursday night in what he called, quote, a great meeting. But this proposal,
I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second,
was a step too far for the gun lobby. NRA Executive Director Chris Cox suggested that at the meeting, the president changed his tune, tweeting, POTUS and VPOTUS support the Second Amendment, support due process, and don't want gun control. It's his second meeting with the NRA since the deadly school shooting in Parkland, Florida. It's not just the NRA that the president will run up against, but also members of the Republican Party.
You have a different president now.
Well, listen,
I mean, you went through a lot of presidents and you didn't get it done.
Mr. President, it's going to have to be you that brings the Republicans to the table on this, because right now the gun lobby would stop it in its tracks.
I like that responsibility, Chris. I really do. I think it's time. It's time that a president stepped up.
Meanwhile, a Georgia legislature voted to revoke a tax exemption worth $38 million for Delta Airlines for denying discounts to NRA members.
ABC News has learned that the White House has decided to delay the unveiling of its school safety policy proposals because of Republican reaction to the president's statements. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
And another company has decided to change their gun sale policies in the wake of that shooting. Outdoor retailer LL Bean will no longer sell guns or ammunition to anyone under 21. The company joined Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, as well as Kroger. Spokesperson Caroline said the store does not sell assault-style firearms, high-capacity firearms, bump stocks, or handguns of any kind.
A popular ride-sharing company is ready to roll out a new service. Uber can now help you get to the doctor's office on the provider's dime. Yeah, every year millions of Americans miss medical appointments because they don't have reliable transportation. So Uber Health is partnering with healthcare providers to schedule rides for patients. And so far, more than 100 healthcare organizations are on board. Wow.
that's a pretty good use for that, actually. I mean, you think about it, especially when it comes to like the senior population, how many people need to get out there and get to medical appointments. That's a great way to work.
And they have to pay a lot for those van services oftentimes.
That's right. You're helping people also. You're helping Uber drivers and people that do that as well. You're giving some people some jobs and helping people need to go to where they need to go.
Uber is disrupting the industry.
They are. They're shaking things up.
Still ahead, first alert traffic and caught on camera. Look at this, a car hitting a bicyclist.
Oh, this crazy video caught from the handlebars. We're going to have his story right after this.
Here's a peek outside our window. A little fog right now in the Rosemary district. Some possible drizzle, John Scalzi?
No, not here, but certainly to our north. And we do have the potential of seeing some of that drizzle around here. We do have some low-hanging cloud, though, and that's caused by a front sinking south, promising us big changes. Right now, pretty quiet, but as I said, a 10% chance of showers. Drop-off school bus forecast calls for temperatures that will be mild, coming in at around 72 degrees. A little bit cloudy out there, though, and a spot of drizzle possible. Pick up this afternoon, 79 degrees, clear skies, and some very nice temperatures on the way for the weekend as well, which we'll detail in just a minute.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Oh, we love our viewer photos. Look at this one. This is an absolutely beautiful shot, Blackburn Point. Yesterday, Jack Water sent this one in of the sunset absolutely gorgeous. In fact, we had several gorgeous pictures of sunsets last night. Bradenton Beach. Kevin, thank you very much. Nice shot there. We are looking at temperatures across the region, which are generally in the mid-70s most everywhere. Got some lower 70s in inland areas, but closer to the coast, we've got some mid-70s, pretty widespread. 73, 74 degrees. 74 in Sarasota, 71 in Bradenton Parish at 70, 71 Lakewood Ranch. Inglewood and Venice both coming in at 73, and Longbow comes in at 74. Inland, a little cooler, as I mentioned. Wauchula 71 and Arcadia coming in at 70. We have still high dew points, very high dew, almost summer-like dew points in the 70s, low 70s, 72. We'll be watching that dew point value just take a nosedive as we head into the evening hours and into the overnight. It is going to feel so comfortably less humid tomorrow. I can't even talk about it. I can't even say it. I want to lay down and scream. 74 degrees, the actual air temperature. A mix of sun and clouds out there right now, or at least clear skies and clouds. Sunshine, of course, will help to disperse those clouds as we head into the afternoon and the front sinks south. We'll have a lot of sun, I think, as we head into the second half of the day. We're not going to see the cool down occur during daylight hours today. We'll still be above average. Yeah, we'll be a little bit cooler, coming in at 79 for a daytime high instead of the 80s by 3 p.m. First day that's happened in almost 2 dozen. But you know what? As we head into the evening hours, you'll certainly notice it. The winds will pick up a little bit. You'll notice kind of a crisp, fresh feel to that air out of the north, and the temperatures will begin to fall. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you'll have temperatures in the 50s, which we have not seen in quite some time. So winds out of the northeast coming in after the front sinks southward. We'll watch a few scattered showers around possibly this morning, or patches of drizzle more like. And then as we head into the afternoon period, we'll see temperatures top out at about 79. Maybe a few places hit 80. And then as we head into the evening hours, you'll really notice the changes starting to occur, going into the 70s, going into the 60s, waking up in the 50s. And then tomorrow we warm, but not nearly as warm, coming in only in the mid-70s. So some pretty nice changes. The reason for it? Well, let's tip our hats to the folks to the north, because they have to suffer the rough weather due to a storm system that's building there. Could produce, well, nearly hurricane-force winds along the coastline. I mean, there are evacuations taking place. There's going to be major erosion, storm surges that could create some problems with some of the housing there. And it's going to be a mess. Plus, some heavy snow showers really will interrupt travel there. Right now, all the airport hubs are going on time around Newark, LaGuardia, JFK, all looking good. Boston, okay. But that will change as we head into the afternoon, I have no doubt. The frontal boundary itself kind of meandering across central Florida sinks southward. High pressure builds in and winds come in out of the north. That'll bring us our big changes. A spot of morning drizzle, afternoon clearing, and then cooler starting tonight. Forecast looks like this. North wind coming in at about 10 to 15, becoming a little bit breezy during the overnight. Boaters don't get caught by surprise. Could get choppy out there by morning. 79 today, and then 74 tomorrow under full sunshine. Tomorrow night, 46, the nighttime low. And then on Sunday, Oscar Sunday, 72 degrees, the top out temperature. Most of the day spent in the 60s, overnight low in the 40s. And then the next several days of the next work week, we stay in those low to mid 70s with nighttime lows in the 50s and 60s. Should be a beautiful week ahead. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside. First alert traffic out there this morning. Starting to see a little bit of a slowdown right there on State Road 64 and 301, that interchange, as well as another slowdown heading northbound on 301. If you're heading into South Sarasota, definitely starting to see some slowdown right there on Fruitville Avenue. That's going to be a big one as well, and that's only going to get busier as the morning goes on. We do have one accident to tell you about. I-75, the northbound lane. There is an accident at exit 207, which is Bee Ridge Road. So again, another heads up, I-75 northbound, there is an accident right there at exit 207 Bee Ridge. You might want to swap over and take 41 because it's not too busy this time of the morning if you're able to do that in your commute. The farther south you go, the better it looks. It is running pretty smooth out there this morning at 549. And caught on camera, a scary experience for a bicyclist. The moments leading up to him being hit by a car while riding in the bike lane in a Miami neighborhood. Todd Tongan has the story and some much needed safety tips for bikers and drivers on the road.
Last Tuesday afternoon on a leisurely bike ride home, Reed Welch was minding his own business in the bike lane when this happened.
It's the first time I ever put the camera on the bike.
Reed was going over 20 miles an hour on an electric assist bike when a driver suddenly cut him off in the bike lane.
He forgot to check his rearview mirror. He forgot to use his turn signal.
Thankfully, Reed didn't suffer any broken bones, but he had some bad bruising, swelling, and a real bad case of road rash.
Reed knows that he is lucky he wasn't hurt worse, but he says he learned two things from the accident. One is that you get a false sense of security from being in the bike lane, and many drivers don't know how to make a right-hand turn when a bike lane is present.
After you check and the bike lane is clear, put on your blinker and get close to the curb. The bike lane is a vehicle lane, and it is not just for bikes.
If you were in the center lane of a 4-lane or 3-lane highway, you wouldn't make a right turn from the center lane. You'd move over to the far right lane.
Reed says he's not mad at the driver, who did stay on the scene and help him get medical care. He says he's posting the video on YouTube to make sure others are aware of the dangers.
Here we have a chance to educate drivers and also educate cyclists. I won't let somebody else's mistake like this one hurt me again in the future. I'll be extra vigilant. It's going to save a life.
Well, this Sunday, it is the Skyway 10K across the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. It's a benefit for the Armed Forces Families Foundation. 7,000 runners from 40 different states and 4 countries are expected to participate that morning. Now, the race itself will start at 6 a.m. The northbound lanes of the Skyway Bridge are going to be closed Sunday morning from 4 a.m. until 10 a.m. Now, the northbound lanes of the bridge and 4th Avenue near Trop Field are also going to be closed off. And another heads up that you should know, spectators are not allowed on that bridge. All right, well, next you are looking live at the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. It is going to be a beautiful day out there on Sunday. Nice, cool, crisp weather out there. A couple other things to note. They're actually hoping to make it an annual trip across the bridge every year. They'd like to do this again and again. The response was so fast. The 7,000 runners was already sold out within the first couple weeks of that announcement. So going to be a good day on Sunday. We'll be back right after this.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, March 3rd. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
All right, here are some of the headlines that we're working on for you today.
Big event tomorrow. Food from 30 area restaurants will be on display at the annual Sertoma Club Festival at Benderson Park. It's called the My Hometown Fest, a series of bands, dozens of restaurants, craft beer. Proceeds go to help local kids through the Sertoma Club.
And coming up at 6 a.m., who can forget last year's big Oscar debacle when the Best Picture nominees were mixed up? Well, that was only one of the many bizarre moments in Oscar history. I put together a few of the best ones over the past couple years. We're going to have that for you next hour.
Well, now we leave you with a shot of a place that's near and dear to my heart. My hometown, Buffalo. There it is. Not a great place to be. Early March and snow is on the way.
3 words, winter storm warning.
That's why I'm down here. 5:56 right now. Much more local news as you awake on this Friday morning. Good Morning Suncoast continues after this.